Good to see you, and thanks for joining us.
Too, mate.
It's been a busy few weeks, quite a lot to catch up on. But first off, just how busy it for you at the moment? Is it a constant stream of meetings and phone calls?
Yeah, I mean, exactly that. I mean, this is great now, Zoom, because you can sort of have everybody within your grasp within hours and sort of be, planning everything else. So as you know, Gareth, we've got a majority of pre-season, well, if not all of it done now, which is a bonus. Getting the games we have, I think, is going to stand us in good stead for the season ahead. And not only that, I've got a lot of agents calling and texting, would I be interested in this player and that player? So, got obviously Alex, the recruitments, and Carl and Samo, Algs, really all, on top form basically and pushing them. They've been on holiday. I haven't managed to get one yet. But what the most important thing is that we're in for a shout with a lot of people where we're putting really good firm offers to people, speaking to a lot of players, trying to, get them over the line to join the club. And as you well know, we've got a couple of good deals done early. And I'm hoping that there's going to be a few more to follow.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, you've made some good progress already. Three new faces in the door. Let's talk about them one by one. Jack Perkins a couple of weeks ago, a play you'll know a fair bit about.
Yeah, Jack obviously just come off the back of winning the cup with Forest, with the Premier League, like sort of the European type. Watched that game, was impressed. I think I can keep helping him in his development. He come in and joined us for a week's training, done really well with the lads, settled in really well, and just took to it. Works hard, got a really good engine. Can play, left back, left wing back, centre mid, up the top. So really, lad who can play in various positions, which I'm pleased about. And a sort of no nonsense player, which I'm very very pleased that we got over the line. And he wanted to come. Gareth, and I think always the main thing for me is that he wants to come and play for Northampton Town and play for me. So that's a big bonus, because when you've got people in the door who want to do it, and want to come to your club and to our club, I should say, then it makes life a lot easier when you've got them in your squad.
Tell us about another Jack, Jack Burrows. He was the second new arrival.
Yeah, Jack. Absolutely delighted to with the capture of Jack. I thought, that was done really quickly. We were on a Zoom with him, with the staff and him. But one that Algs knows quite well. So we've done all our own work. As I say, I think it's important all the time to know these lads off the field as well as on it. But again, bundle of experience, very adaptable in different positions. Again, can play right side, left side, can play in a three. If I'm going to play if I'm going to play a four, which I can quite see a lot this year, he can play right back, left back. So right wing back if we're going to play with a three type. So yeah, again, delighted with the capture of Jack. And again, as I say, just someone who didn't really hesitate. Once we'd spoken, personal terms would agree quite quickly, and we got him over the line, which is again another great work from obviously James, obviously with the backing of the chairman, and then excuse me, Alex and Cole. So delighted to get him over the line, and yeah, we'll look forward. I'll be really looking forward to seeing him on the 23rd of June.
And then there's Kamari, a player you'll know lots about from your time at West Ham.
Yeah, Kamari's really good talent. Again, we've had really good feedback. Cole spoke with the staff at West Ham. Billy Reid and also Bruno, and they was like, you've got a real gem of a player there. And I know that what we've got to do is we've got to sort of bring Kamari's good attributes into our team. He's one who can play as a 10, as a 7, as a 11. Can even play the 9. So it can play all along all them top positions. And there's one who I think will excite the fans. Real strong, powerful, quick runner, really good on the ball, scores goals. Had a really good season. Robbo, who's the under 21s coach at West Ham. I've got to thank him as well because he, you know, he spoke with Kamari early on at the end of last season just to say, Kevin was really interested in you and everything else. So he's one I've kept tabs on since I've left West Ham, and I'm delighted. And when I spoke again, he spoke with his agent, and his agent said he wants to come and play for you for Northampton. He's really, excited about what I've said to him, what I've spoke to him about, and he just needs to get somewhere where he knows that he's got someone who backs him. And I know, as I said, I've known Kamari since he was a young boy, so it's someone who I know what he needs. And I feel that I can get the best out of him, and I think he thinks the same way too. So it's someone I'm really excited to be working with again, and I'm hoping that he's going to excite the fans, which I'm very sure he will.
Is it fair to say that pace and mobility is a common theme amongst the three signings you've made so far, and is that something you were particularly looking at this summer?
Yeah, I think it was important, Gareth, and that's no disrespect to the squad that I inherited, is that, it took us a while to get them all on the training pitch. And as you well know, a lot of the substitutes were made because lads couldn't do a sort of Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. So I wanted to bring, as you said, power, pace, and I wanted to bring a robustness to the squad, which which hopefully this is sort of showing as well. These lads have played, over 30 games, finishing the games as well, and because I want them to be able to go Saturday, I want them to be able to go Tuesday, I want them to be training every day, I want them to take it and take it to a next level, because we've got to draw the best out of these boys if we want to be where we want to be come the end of the season. And it starts, as I say, it starts on the 23rd of June, so it's important that we've got new recruits in as early as possible so that they know what's expected. And don't get me wrong, on the Zoom call, I'm very, very honest with the lads who I'm trying to sign, and wanting them to know exactly what they're getting themselves in for, because I want us to be a team who's going to be fit, who's going to be I'm going to be able to match anybody, look like we were, for the majority of the back end of the season we were able to match big teams but I want to go one further. I want to be able to not only match them, I want to be able to beat them.
Let's talk then about a couple of players who were with the squad last season, Mitch Pinnock and Aaron McGowan. Now, I know at the end of the season you said you didn't want, in the interest of club and player and everyone involved, you didn't want things sort of dragging on over the summer and deadlines were in place. What's the latest with those two players?
Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately, I'm from me, and I'm absolutely gutted. But well, let's start with Mitch. Mitch obviously had a fantastic season. The amount of games he plays, trains, he's got a robustness about him. He wants to play every week. He wants to train every day, which is great. But unfortunately, he's turned the contract offer down, which is a fantastic offer, and he agreed it was. But I think it's more related and to do with family reasons. I spoke about this in in the meeting, didn't I? And I said, what happens is that these lads when they live away from home and they live away from the families, it becomes a big part of it. So when you come out of contract, they get offered. If you get something offered that may be a bit closer to home, then something what they seriously consider. So, but unfortunately, Mitch is not going to accept the contract, and he's going to be moving on elsewhere. But he goes with all our best wishes. He's done a fantastic job for me. He's been a fantastic servant to this club, and you can't take that away from him. And we won't. What we'll do is wish him well in his new journey. So sad and sorry to see him go, but wish him well and good luck in his future endeavours.
And with Aaron, is it also the case that we've not been able to come to an agreement with Aaron?
Yeah, again, I spoke with Az, and obviously, he was brilliant. Obviously my captain for the second half of the season, but I think he's just had a newborn. His wife and his kid live away. They live in Liverpool, so it's very difficult for him to get back and forth. And I think just the journey and everything else, and when he sat down with his family, he's realised that it's a lot to take on again for another couple of years. He spoke about year 5 and year 6 being away from the family. He's loved his time here. I think I think he said the offer was really good. But he just thought that what he wanted now is to sort of be closer to home as much as he possibly can, and also to so that he could go home every night to see his his young family grow up. And I get that. I've done that myself. I had a young family moving from Newcastle, yeah, from Liverpool to Newcastle, Newcastle to West Ham. So in both cases, I think it's just a case of wanting to be near a family and be at home. I don't think it's anything to do with Northampton or the offers what we give. I think it's just that they've decided that they want to go back near a home, and you can't really match that. Sometimes that's just life, and that's football, and you've got to. But again, as I say, what a fantastic saving for the club. He's been fantastic for me as well. As I say, he was even captain for the second half of the season, as when John went down with his unfortunate knee injury. So I can't thank him enough for everything he done for me when I walked in the door, and that goes the same for Mitch. So. I wish him all the best, and then them lads know that they can give me a call anytime if they need anything, or any advice with anything moving forward. And I just wish them the best moving forward in both the careers now.
Pleased to see John Guthrie and Josh Tomlinson both sign new contracts in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, really important. Speaking with John at the end of the season, and then spoke to him a couple of just a few days before he got the deal done. We're delighted that he's decided to join us again for another year, and what we're looking forward to now and helping him with his with his rehab and making sure that we get him back on the pitch, fit, ready. We won't be pushing him to get back too quick. What we'll be doing is making sure that he's back, and when he's back, he's ready to go. So that I've got to be patient, but what he's doing, he's working his socks off at the minute, and I'm expecting him to be back sooner rather than later, if you like, and when you have them injuries. But what we won't do is we won't risk him at all. It'll be 110% of he's ready. We know he's ready, and we feel he's ready, and that's a decision from myself, the medical staff, and John himself. So delighted that he's decided to stay, and yeah, I'm looking forward to working with him, because it feels like he was there, we were getting sort of a relationship going, and then all of a sudden he was gone. And but again, that's football. But yeah, he's going to be with us, and he's going to be a big part of it anyway. Come the 23rd of June, he's going to be in and around them lads, them new lads coming in. He's the club captain, so he's going to be the one driving it, from inside that dressing room, and that's what I want. So yeah, I'm looking forward to working with him again from the 23rd.
And
Then
Josh, a young player, sorry.
yeah, and then Josh, he's a different one, Josh, because obviously I didn't get a lot to see him. A contract had already been agreed before it come in, but I think it's fair, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. I think it's really important that Josh, comes back, and he's fighting fit from day one. He's ready to go. And I'm looking forward to, again, he's one of the development ones, and I'm looking forward to working him and seeing what he can produce, and seeing how far we can take him, and see if we can keep pushing him. He's had a real, one of the youngest. I think he is the youngest, Gareth, isn't he? To play for us, and yeah. So what we want to do is try and drag that potential out, and get him to a place where he's challenging for the first team spot, and that's his challenge. And we'll be talking about him, whether it be me or Colin. We'll be talking about it with him in the next week or so to make sure he's ready when he comes in on the 23rd.
And just briefly, Max Dyche, I know it's a bit different because he's under 24, so we are protected, but what's the latest with Max?
Yeah, Max, we've put an offer, a fair offer out, which we feel like is sort of where we want to be now with these young lads, and Max comes under the same sort of title as like the Kamari Swires, the Jack Perkins, the young sort of up and coming guns, the youngsters who we feel like we can develop, and we'll give them contracts which, if they sort of make impacts in the first team, and they're making impacts, and being and successful, and we're successful, that their contract starts showing that, and it bumps up. So yeah, he's got a real, what we feel is a real good offer, and so he's currently considering that, and yeah, we're open to hear some positive news that he's going to sign. But yeah, we'll just wait, and give him time to do that.
Just briefly, Kevin, just to touch on Terry Taylor. I know he's back at Charlton now, but fans will remember he came off injured in the last game of the season. How's Terry? What's the latest with him?
Yeah, Terry. Well, I know Cole spoke with him last week. And it was unfortunate, because he come off. It was an ankle which he previously had a bit of trouble with, and it was swollen up quite bad really quickly, which I thought was sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, and I was sort of hoping that it was a good thing for him as a player, but unfortunately it wasn't good news when he went. He's just had his operation, so he's back with Charlton. I think he's doing his rehab there. I'm going to catch up with him in the next week or so, just to see how he is and everything else. Obviously, thank him again. I did speak to him, speak to all the loanies and all the lads who are going back to the parent clubs. But something I want to do is, catch up with them just to say thanks again for a great season, good luck, and everything else. But yeah, he's going to be out for a while. But yeah, he's someone we'll obviously keep in touch with because he was a great servant for us for them 3 4 months while he come in. And I thought he'd done a great job, and I think he really enjoyed being with us as well. So yeah, hoping that we'll see him back on the pitch pretty soon, and who knows, maybe in a Northampton jersey again.
Let's hope so. Just finally, Kevin, I know there's a lot of work to do, and we've covered a lot of different subjects here, but you've made a good start. Happy with where things are at this moment?
Yeah, really happy. I've got the lads coming over today again. So another recruitment meeting today. And we're going to be sitting there. We're looking for all our targets again. So the ones we've currently, speaking to and discussing, waiting for sort of answers from them. Also speaking to people on Zoom and having meetings with them, but also making sure that if the answer what we get is not what we want, and it's sort of a no, we're not going, we're going to go elsewhere, that we're ready for the next target and we're ready to go again and we're ready to keep moving forward. Because I think the most important thing, guys, was when I took over the job, I said I want people to want to come to Northampton and be a part of Northampton and be a part of what we are and who we are. And if they don't want that and they're not 110% in, I'd rather them not come. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, is that everybody knows what I want to do. My staff know how much I'm going to lean on them, but also push them. And it's about them being able to push the players, and we'll get them to good outs and good lengths, and we can do and have a really strong and solid season next year, and not be looking over our shoulder. Come near the end of the season, I want to be looking up. As I said to you, since I walked in day one, I want to be looking up and trying to push and push and get and squeeze the extra bit out of the players, out of the staff, and out of myself to get better. So yeah, really looking forward to what's going to be another hope busy few weeks, but ones I'm really enjoying, and this is why I took the job, because of moments like this. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all back on the 23rd of June.
Well, thanks for your time, Kevin, and good luck with all those meetings.
Thank you. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you, mate. Enjoy your break from me.
Thank
I
you.
should say.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.